Hi, welcome to all. Myself, Trimayagoda MB, working as a lecturer in Government Polytechnic, Thuruvekere. Today, I am going to take design of fasteners in my session. In this session, I am going to cover the simple problems on design of bolts, and at the end you will have multiple choice questions. In the previous session, you have already learnt about fasteners. That means what is fasteners, what are all the advantages of fasteners, what are all the disadvantages of fasteners, and what are all the types of fasteners used in building a machines or our requirements. And also the stresses induced in the fasteners when it is subjected to external loading conditions as well as initial loading conditions. And also you have learned in the previous session that how to design the bolts. That means the procedure for designing of bolts for external load, initial load as well as design of bolts for cylinder covers. Before solving the design problems, you should be familiar with these words because we are going to use these words in our further communication. Stress. Stress is nothing but force acts per unit area. That means it is the resistance offered by the material or body against the external load. And the unit is Newton per millimeter square or Newton per meter square. The next one is pressure. The pressure is nothing but force acts per unit area, and the unit is Newton per meter square or Newton per millimeter square. Next one is core area. Here the core area corresponding to minor diameter of the thread, because in designing a fasteners, that means in designing a threaded fastener, we are mainly concentrating on the root diameter or minor diameter, because this is the minimum cross section which will be going to fail under external load. That's why we are going to consider core area for designing a bolts. And next one is initial tightening load. Initial tightening load means when we tighten the bolt and nuts with the help of spanner, there will be some preload acts on the bolt and nuts. That is known as initial tightening load, because load acts on the bolts because of tightening, and the stresses developed because of this initial tightening load is known as initial stresses and is calculated by using empirical relations. Next one, in addition to initial load, bolt is subjected to external load also, because of load acts by the externally. Next, in this session, we will going to cover the design of bolts for the given loading conditions, and also we are going to design the bolts for cylinder covers. That means we will going to calculate the value or size of the bolts for our required loading conditions. Now I am going to take simple problems on bolts so that you will going to get an idea how the bolts are designed. Design of bolts is nothing but finding the size of the bolts. That is as simple as possible. Now I am going to take simple problems. Before solving any problems, that may be a design problem or general problem, first we have to read the problem carefully and note down the given data and concentrate on what is asking to find. That means what is the solution for this problem and what are all the methods to solve this problem. So now I am going to read the problem. An I-bolt is to be used for lifting a load of 20 kilonewton. Find the nominal diameter of the bolt if the tensile stress is not to exceed 100 MPa. Assume coarse threads. Here he is asking to find the diameter of the bolt for the given load. Load given is 20 kilonewton. We will correct the given data. F is equal to 20 kilonewton, that is equal to 20 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. We have to find the nominal diameter, that is D. D corresponds to major diameter, DC corresponds to minor diameter of the bolt. And tensile stress is not to exceed 100 MPa. That means it is the allowable stress or working stress or design stress or safe stress. That is 100 MPa, 100 Newton per mm square, because 1 MPa is equal to 1 Newton per millimeter square. You are already known that I-bolt is used for lifting purposes. That is examples used to lift heavy machineries on shop floors with the help of cranes. Here in this problem we have to find the diameter of the bolt, where we know that the simple stress formula, stress is equal to force by area. Therefore force is equal to stress into area. That is, the force acting on the bolt is given by F is equal to stress into area, sigma B into A. A corresponding to core area, that is cross sectional area, that is equal to pi by 4 dc square. Therefore F is equal to sigma B into pi by 4 dc square. Substitute the known values. F is known and stress is known. Substitute these two values, we will get the value of DC. DC is nothing but core diameter. DC will become square root of 4F divided by sigma B into pi. 4 into, that is force is 20 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Stress is 100 MPa, 100 into pi. On calculating this, we will get 15.95 mm. This is the core diameter. Corresponding to this core diameter, we are going to choose the standard values from our design data handbook. In our machine design, we will use design data handbook that is written by K. Mahadevan and Barveer Reddy. So for all standard values, we will use design data handbook. Because in markets, when you going to purchase the bolt and nuts, all bolts are available in standard diameters. That's why we will give the standard values to the fasteners. Core diameter is 15.95 mm, that is the calculated one. Please go through the design data handbook. In table 9.8, page number 141, you will get the basic dimensions of isometric threads. In that, closer to this value of 15.95 mm, in column number 5, you will get the core diameter. Corresponding to this core diameter, we will going to select the major diameter. The closer to the 15.95 mm, in design data handbook you will get 16.16 mm, that is core diameter, and corresponding to this core diameter the major diameter is 18 mm. Okay, in this problem we have calculated the diameter of the bolt for the given load by using simple stress equation. After calculating the diameter, we have selected the standard values from design data handbook. Next, I am move on to the second problem. Determine the safe tensile load for bolts of M20 and M36. Assume that the bolts are not initially stressed and take the safe tensile stress as 200 MPa, that is megapascal. In this problem is given the diameter of the bolts and asking to find the load. But in the previous problem there force is given, we have calculated the diameter of the bolt. Here we have to calculate the force for the given diameter. First correct the given data. For M20 means M stands for metric threads, 20 mm 20 indicates the nominal diameter of bolt size 20 mm. Similarly M36 means nominal diameter of 36 mm. Stress is 200 MPa, that is a given value 200 Newton per mm square. This problem can be solved by two methods because the data corresponding to M20 and M36, two data are available in design data handbook. One is core diameter and one is core area. Those are the standard values. We'll refer it by using design data handbook. In method 1, we'll calculate the force by using core diameter. In method 2, we'll calculate the force by considering core area. Those two values are available in design data handbook in table number 9.8, page number 141. In page number 141, you will get it for M20 and in 142 you will get it for M36 bolt. M20 means major diameter. We have to select the minor diameter or core diameter from the design data handbook. For M20, the core diameter is, the standard core diameter is 16.93 mm, and for M36, the standard diameter is 31.01 mm. We know that force is equal to area into stress. Area is core area pi by 4 dc square into sigma b. Pi by 4 into 16.93. I substitute the values 16.93 into 200. On calculating this, you will get 45.02 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Similarly, we have to calculate it for M36 bolt. Force is equal to core area into sigma b pi by 4 31.09. This is taken from the design data handbook for M36 bolt into 200. Upon calculating this, you will get F is equal to 151.83 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. Next, method 2. In method 2, we will select the core area that is available in design data handbook for all the major diameters. For M20, the standard core area is 245 mm square and for M36 the standard core area is 817 mm square. For these two values, you have to refer the design data handbook. In table number 9.8, you will get all the values, core diameter, major diameter, pitch and all. You will get it in that book. For M20, force is equal to area into stress. Area is 245, that is taken from the data handbook, into 200. On calculating this, you will get 49 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. For M36 also, the core area is 817 into safe stress as 200 MPa, that is equal to 163.4 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. So in this problem, we have calculated the force that can carry by M20 and M36 board. Next, take another problem. An engine cylinder is 300 mm in diameter and the steam pressure is 0.7 Newton per mm square. If the cylinder head is held by 12 studs, find the size. Assume the safe tensile stress as 28 MPa. This is the application problem. Here, he has given the cylinder cover and the studs used in the cylinder and cylinder cover. Here the diameter of the cylinder is 300 mm and the steam pressure acting inside the cylinder is 0.7 Newton per mm square, and number of studs used here is 12 studs for securing the cylinder cover on its place. Here also we have to calculate the size of the bolt, that means finding the nominal diameter of the bolt. Here in order to calculate the force, he has given the pressure. We know that pressure is equal to force per unit area. That is nothing but force is equal to pressure into area. From this pressure and diameter value, we will get the force acts on the cylinder cover. Whatever the force acts on this cylinder cover, which will turn transfer to the studs. Bolt and studs are fasteners, but there is a difference. What is the difference? Bolt is having head at one end and threaded portion at the other end, but stud is having threaded portion at both the ends. That is the main difference between bolt and studs. But the procedure to design the bolt and studs is same. First, we are going to calculate the what is the upward force acting on the cylinder cover. That is pressure into area, where A is area of cylinder. That is equal to small letter p into pi by 4 capital letter D square. Here, don't get confused with small letter d and capital letter D. Small letter d corresponding to major diameter and capital letter D corresponding to the diameter of the cylinder. Substitute the known values 0.7 pi by 4 into 300 square. On calculating this, you will get 49.48 into 10 raised to 3 Newton. I will consider this as equation number 1. Next, this force is resisted by n number of bolt studs, because whatever the upward force, that will be transferred to the studs. In order to retain the cylinder cover on its place, that force is resisted by the studs. That is equal to F is equal to stress into area into N. N is nothing but number of studs, because this force is transferred to all the 12 studs. Stress is in sigma S, that is corresponding to stress in the studs pi by 4 dc square into N. Substitute the known values. Stress is 28 MPa, pi by 4 dc square into 12. We don't know the value of dc, that we have to find at later stage. F is equal to, on calculating this, you will get F is equal to 263.89 dc square Newton, and consider this as equation number 2. We are going to equate the upward force acting on the cylinder cover is equal to force resisted by n number of studs. On equating these equations 1 and 2, that is 49.48 into 10 raised to 3 is equal to 263.89 dc square. On calculating this, you will get 187.50 millimeter square. This is the calculated value of DC square, and then on, do the calculation, you will get 13.69 mm. This is the calculated value. For this calculated value, we are going to select the standard core diameter from design data handbook that is available in table 9.8, page number 141. So corresponding to this core diameter, the standard core diameter is 14.16 mm and standard major diameter is 16 mm. So now we have calculated the diameter of the stud for the pressure that is created inside the cylinder. Now we are going to check this stud for leak proof joint. That means the diameter obtained that can be used it for leak proof joint or not. So because in all engine cylinders, steam engine cylinders, we have to maintain a leak proof joint. For that leak proof joint, we have to satisfy some conditions. That means here we are going to calculate the circumferential pitch and minimum circumferential pitch and maximum circumferential pitch. If the circumferential pitch of the stud lies between minimum and maximum circumferential pitch, then the chosen diameter of the stud is satisfactory. Then that means it can be used for leak proof joint. So there is a procedure for calculating that circumferential pitch. Firstly, we are going to calculate the diameter of the stud hole. That is given by capital letter D1 is equal to D plus 1. That is 1 mm is the clearance for placing the studs. That is 16 plus 1 gives 17 mm. And next we are going to calculate the pitch diameter. That means pitch circle diameter of the studs. That is dP is equal to D plus 2T plus 3D1. That is equal to D is the diameter of the cylinder 300 mm, 2 is thickness of the cylinder wall. In general, we are going to assume this thickness of this cylinder wall, that is 10 mm. But even that can be calculated by using thickness of cylinder wall and thickness of cover by using Lami's equation. But in general, we are going to assume the thickness of cylinder wall, that is T as 10 mm and 3 into 17. You will, on calculating this, you will get dP is equal to 371 mm. Next, we are going to calculate the circumferential pitch of studs. Circumferential pitch means it is the pitch measured along the pitch circle diameter. That is pi dP divided by n. That means pi d means it is the circumference. Total circumference divided by number of studs gives the circumferential pitch. Pi into 371 divided by 12, you will get 97.12 mm. That means we have to place the 12 studs at a distance of 97.12 mm. Next, we are going to calculate the minimum circumferential pitch, that is 20 square root of D1. 20 square root of 17, you will get 82.46 mm, and maximum circumferential pitch of studs is equal to 30 square root of D1, that is equal to 30 square root of 17. You will get 123.69 mm. So now we are going to compare the circumferential pitch with minimum and maximum circumferential pitch. The circumferential pitch obtained above, that is 97.12, lies between 82.46 mm and 123.69 mm. Hence, the chosen stud diameter is safe. That means the 16 mm size of stud can be used for leak proof joint. Okay. So today in this session we have learnt the design of boards for different loading conditions. That means we have find the size of the board for the given load, or we have calculated the force for the given size of boards, and also we have designed the boards, we have designed the size of studs for cylinder covers. Now we are going to discuss a few multiple choice questions. I will read the multiple choice questions. You have to select the right answers for these questions. A boat is designed on the basis of dash with a large factor of safety. That means how the boats are designed. Whether we are going to consider direct tensile stress or direct compressive stress or direct bending stress or direct shear stress. The next one is the designation of M24 into 2 of a bolt means. That means what it indicates. That means if we write M24 into 2, what is the meaning of this? Metric thread of 24 numbers of 2 centimeter, metric threads with cross section of 24 mm, metric thread of 24 mm outside diameter and 2 mm pitch, bolts of 24 mm nominal diameter having 2 threads per centimeter. Here you have to select the right answer for the question. Next, in general, the dash stress is used in designing a machine element. Permissible stress, ultimate stress, yield stress, none of the above. That means, in general, we will select one of these stresses for designing a machine element. Next one, the formula for calculating the stress. Sigma S F by A, sigma S A by F, tau is equal to T by J into R, tau is equal to F by A. Next, the fifth one, the working stress or design stress is also called as allowable stress, permissible stress, self stress, and the last one, all the above. Next, 1 MPa is equal to how much? 1 Newton per mm square, 1 Newton per meter square, 1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per millimeter square, 1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton per meter square. Next one, core area corresponding to which diameter? Major diameter, nominal diameter, minor diameter, pitch diameter. Next one, for calculating the upward force acting on the cylinder cover, the area considered is, that means which area is considered in calculating the upward force? Core area, cylinder area, area of cover plate, none of the above. Next one, the bolts are usually specified by its dash diameter. Nominal diameter, root diameter, pitch diameter, none of the above. Next one, 1 kilonewton is equal to how much? 1000 Newton or 1 into 10 raised to 3 Newton, both A and B, and last one, none of the above. Okay, these are all the 10 multiple choice questions. Now I am going to give the answers for these multiple choice questions. For the first question, the answer is A. So please refer the multiple choice questions. You will get the and cross check it with your answers. For 2 it is C, for 3 it is A, for 4 it is A, for 5 it is D, for 6 it is A, for 7 it is C, for 8 it is B, for 9 it is A, for 10 it is C. So please cross check your answers with my answers, okay, so that you will get an idea of design of boards. Okay, thank you.